I think at the core of leadership is a heart. I remember having dreams since I was a child of me flying in a mattress, no lie, flying in a mattress and just grabbing people out of danger. You know, it's always been part of my heart to just help people. Even my name means Father of Help. Abiezel means Father of Help. So since I've been born, it's always been part of my heart to help and lead people.
Well, listen, I appreciate you being here, man. And for everyone listening, I am so honored. You know, me and Abby, Pastor Abby, we go back. We've been friends for over 15 years, and I'm excited to have him here. And we're going to talk about just a little bit over the next 30 minutes or so. We're going to talk about vision and team building. Our goal is to help equip leaders. And so what I want to do, Abby, I want to use today to learn a little bit about your story, just a little bit about your background, basically your leadership, your background, and where you grew up and what was your childhood like.
Awesome. Well, I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in Trenton, New Jersey by a single mom who loved me to death and still does. Praise God for her. She worked 2 or 3 jobs to pay whatever she needed to pay and to give me a good life. So I can't complain, even though I didn't have a father and he was absent. I can still glorify God that my mother did everything necessary to be able to provide for us and be there. So my upbringing in Trenton is an inner city, yes. Awesome inner city that, you know, that there's all types of things occurring in the inner city. I mean, I was serving the Lord. I was raised in the church to about 12, 13 years old. And I, as a teenager, decided to do my own thing and left and had ups and downs in my life. And then since 18 is what I've been a pastor. I've been serving as a pastor, as a preacher since I've been 18, and I'm not going to tell you my age, but it's been a couple years, almost 2 decades, teaching and leading people. So it's been awesome.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You know, we've been leading people, leading ourselves. Number one, this guy right here has integrity. He has character. He's someone I truly respect, because not only, you know, there's people who preach and teach who don't necessarily really apply those principles, unfortunately, you know. And so I truly respect you and value you and value your friendship and who you are, because you truly live out what you're preaching. You know, you've had a lot of experiences, like you said, over 15 years of experience in leading other people, and have led successful groups, different things through, you know, and accomplished great things throughout your life. And so, first of all, I want to know what first caught your attention about leadership.
Well, I always had a heart for people. Mm-hmm. You know, I always had a heart for people. I think at the core of leadership is a heart. It's a good heart for people.
Come on.
I remember having dreams since I was a child of me flying in a mattress, no lie, flying in a mattress and just grabbing people out of danger. You know, it's always been part of my heart to just help people. Even my name, I believe it was divine, where my name means Father of Help. Abiezel means Father of Help. So since I've been born, it's always been part of my heart to help and lead people.
You know, and that's awesome, because a lot of times, you know, people, you see this in the corporate world, in the business world, and even in the nonprofit church world, you see where people get into leadership for the wrong reasons. And I love that you said that, because truly, you know, when you lead people, you truly got to love people. You got to care for them, because that's what leadership is. And a lot of times I think leaders intuitively know that, but by their actions, they say something else. Yeah. You know, they say they love people, but yet they're doing things for their own personal agenda or whatever it may be, you know, for their own career promotion or whatever. So what was when did you first realize that you were called to lead?
I would say 18, I was called for ministry. I was called to preach to people, but officially to lead people in a vision and to a certain place from here to there. I would say at the age of 30 years old. At the age of 30 is where I just felt, hey, listen, God has given me wisdom, experiences, and it was almost at that same time when I began pastoring. So when I became pastoring, using all the stuff that God have put in my heart since I was born, that's when I realized, you know what, I'm called to lead.
Yeah, yeah. You know, one of my distant mentors, he said this. He said, "One is too small of a number to achieve greatness." Right?
Yeah.
You know, so how can leaders achieve their biggest goals? Right? Last week I spoke to someone else, and we were talking about commitment and how without commitment to a vision, you can't achieve your goals or dreams. Right?
Yeah.
And today we're talking about how a leader, once he starts building on his vision and has a team, first of all, how can he lead that team, or how can he build that team? And then secondly, how can he lead that team effectively to cause greater impact?
Well, you, as a leader, you need to know where you're going, first of all. You can't lead a team if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
So as a leader, it is important that you know where you're going. So where is the church going? Where is the business going? Do I see it going? Where do I see it going in the next year or the next 5 years or in the decade? You got to know where you're going, because if you haven't bought into where you're going, nobody else is going to buy into that.
That's good. So, that's really good.
And as a leader, no one will see where you're going more than how you see it. So if you are not clear with the direction of your vision, then don't communicate it to the team, because you're going to have people walking around in circles for 40 years and 20 years and 5 years. You're going to have moments of motivation where you're going to encourage people, let's move, but you don't know where you're going. So you continue to go in circles. So as a leader, you got to know where you're going. What's your goal? How, where is it that you want to take this organization, this ministry? Once you have the clear vision of where you're going, you'll be able to communicate that to other people.
That's awesome. That's exactly right. I mean, and one of the things that I teach, people now is, first of all, identifying, like you said, where is it that you're going? But first, identifying where is it that you are.
Oh, that's good.
Right? That's good. Where are you currently, emotionally, spiritually, financially, or in the area that you want to get to? Where are you? And then identifying where is it that you want to go. I love that. So now, once you know where you are, once you know where you're going, what traits do you look for when selecting people who are passionate about the causes of the organization, just like you?
Yeah, so that's it's crazy that we're having this conversation, because I'm trying to develop a curriculum that the Lord has been putting in my heart to develop leaders.
Hold on, you're cutting.
It's in my church.
But repeat that again. Repeat that again. You're cutting off a little bit.
Yes, it's wild that you and I are having this conversation, because in the last couple of days, couple of weeks, the Lord has been putting in my heart to communicate a curriculum that He's put in my heart. And it's called core leadership. Core. Why? Because I've been wanting to build the core of the individual and the core of the leadership. Who's the pillars that are going to drive it forward, the vision forward. So the Lord has given me a mindset on core. So I find leaders based on my core values.
That's good.
Based on my core values. What are my core values? C, character. I can care less how talented you are, how gifted, how much ability you have to communicate. If you have no character, it's going to destroy and affect the vision.
That's good.
Because there's going to come a moment where you have to make decision as a leader based on character. And if the character is not there, then you're going to do something that's going to manipulate or is going to benefit you and not the team. So if you have character will always keep you grounded, not let you do this for your own agenda. So character, number one, does he or she have character when electing a leader? Second one, absolutely important, is obedience.
Yes.
You want to have people people that are obedient, and I'm not saying to me, but obedient to what their position is, what their assignment is, what God is telling them. Even Scripture says that, using the Scripture as my foundation for the Lord, obedience is better than work, than sacrifice.
Right. That's good.
Can you obey the vision?
Mm.
You know if you're obeying the vision, if you're able to submit to the vision. Obedience and submission work hand by hand.
Mm.
And I'll give you an example. There are many talented people on my team. I have over 6 pastors that potentially all those 6 pastors can build their own church. I'm not afraid of empowering people that are more successful than me or more talented than me, because those individuals will drive it. Mm. But if I don't communicate obedience to the vision, obedience to where we're going, submission to the vineyard, then there's going to come an idea in their mind that will be even greater than the vision. And if you don't let them know, hey, if you don't submit, if you don't obey, if you don't follow what we're doing, what the Lord has put in my heart, then you can deviate. Mm. You can deviate from the plan and the course that we're going. So I look for really obedient individuals that will be willing to submit their ego, their agenda for the sake of the vision and the sake of where we're going. So
that's
character,
awesome.
Obedience. Third one is relationships.
That's good. That's good.
I look for individuals, I've said this, that are surrounded with the right relationships.
Talk about that for a little bit.
So here's the thing. As a leader, your responsibility gets elevated, and also your relationship becomes minuscule. In other words, you have to be willing to let go of certain relationships for responsibilities. So I look for people that understand that concept. Hey, listen, who are you surrounding yourself with as a leader?
That's good.
Are you willing to sacrifice relationships that are not going to benefit what God's doing in that individual or what God's doing for the church for the sake of it? So people that have relationship. Also look for, in the same spirit, because this is my core package that I want to put together, people that are relational.
That's good. That's important.
Relationships and relational. A leader smells like their followers. Just like pastors smell like sheep.
That's good.
You got to smell like the people you're leading. If you're a good leader from afar, you're truly not leading anyone.
That's so true.
So are you relational? Can somebody come to you and not feel judged?
Yeah. Or
can somebody come to you and say, hey, listen, this is how I feel. Andy Stanley said this: if you're a leader that doesn't listen, you're going to be surrounded sooner or later with people that don't speak.
That's so true.
That was so good. I read that. It made me better.
That is so true.
So I got to be relational. You got to have good relationships. You got to be relational. And the number 4, the last one is emotions. Many people have sabotaged the vision, have sabotaged where they're going because they allowed their emotions to overcrowd their calling or their purpose. So I look for people that know how to control their emotions and be willing to submit them. Listen, I heard today something really powerful when it comes to emotions. Your emotions do not care what you feel. They just want to be felt.
Wow.
They just want to be heard. Sometimes your emotions will overcrowd what's best for you.
That's so true.
It'll always crowd. Here's your emotions. Here's your purpose. Sometimes because you want to be heard so much, your emotions want to be heard, that it overcrowds them. And I heard somebody said today, and this is a little, I would say, advanced for some new leaders, but when you're operating in a level of leadership and you're growing, if you're an emotional leader, you're going to sabotage everything. And emotions should not be your priority as a leader.
What do you mean by that?
So there's times where I make sure that, let's say I'm somebody I'm having a conversation with somebody, and
Mm-hmm.
that conversation made me feel uneasy. It
Mm.
struck an emotional chord.
Right.
As a leader, I cannot operate in an emotional way.
Correct. Right.
So my character, the vision, just the sense of or the responsibility of being a leader makes me say, you know what? Let me pause, get my emotions under control, and let me deal with that.
Wow. That's so important.
Because many times you will sabotage what you're doing if you
Right.
can't control your emotions. So
Right.
I look for that. That's my core when it comes to building people, and I'm teaching that. I'm teaching
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you're emotional. You will have emotions,
Right.
but not everything that you feel is right.
Right. Right.
Not everything that you feel, and certain decisions as a leader will hurt you
Mm.
because you're so close. I've made decisions that will hurt me, but it will better the organization.
Yes. Yes.
And then the Lord begins to heal me, and I begin to understand, and you know what, I'm growing. This decision is not a personal decision. This decision is for the sake of the organization, and I'm moving forward on that.
That's good. I mean, and in essence, right there, when you as the main leader, when you begin to model that,
Yeah.
you're modeling sacrifice, not only in relationships, but whatever you sacrifice desire, sacrifice emotion for the sake of the whole organization, right?
Many people have not elevated their level of leadership because they got too close to the people they were leading.
Wow.
So
So
when it was time to take it to the next level, oh, my friend, how can I tell my friend to be here on time? Or how can I tell my friend to do this? So their friendship, their emotion caused them the next level.
man, that's good.
Yeah.
That is so good. So let me ask you then. So you got your core principles, your core foundational principles, right? That you're looking for in a leader. So now these are some of the things that a leader should be looking for whenever he's starting to build a team, right?
Yeah.
If he wants to build a great vision
Yeah.
to impact, whether that's a team of 2 people or 3 people or 300 people, whatever, right? You can't do something by yourself.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could, but it'll be greater with other people, right?
For sure.
Right. So now once you found the core beliefs, people who have core values as you, how do you go ahead and invite them to join the cause? Now, let me say this before you answer that. So how do you? So here's the thing, and I get the big vision, right, for the organization, and I'm just thinking here. So myself, I've gone through a situation years ago where I was serving in an organization, right? And serving in the organization, giving my all, right, for the organization, for God really, but in the organization. How does a leader not only tell the people who he's trying to get on his team, come serve the vision, but how can the leader also serve the people's vision who are also joining in the bigger vision? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, because something that I heard years ago that really stuck with me to this day, and has literally been one of the things that guide me, is that people don't care how much you know, and you've heard this, until they know how much you care. And that is so true. Like, so how you as a leader of the organization show the people that you care for them and what God has for them, the vision that they have, the dreams that they have. But at the same time, we need to focus on this bigger vision, right? So how do you balance that out?
Well, I'm really good. I say this because that's my heart.
Yeah.
I'm really good in giving people platforms and giving people the opportunity to shine. There's enough credit to go to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to people, I'm very encouraging. Hey, John, you are doing a phenomenal job. Hey, John, this organization is better because of you. Hey,
Right.
John, we're so grateful to be able to do this. Very encouraging, very intentional with making sure that they understand that I know the value that they bring to the organization. So that's important as a leader. That's why if you remain close to people, not emotionally, but when you're close, when you smell like them, then you'll be able to compliment them as well.
Right.
So that's how you do that. People normally will feel like they're just being used if you don't communicate to them what they're contributing and let them and listen to them. So that's my job as a leader. My job as a leader is to give them the vision, make it clear so that they can move with it, and then be right there as the biggest cheerleader to them pushing the vision.
That's awesome. So now, Abby, so a lot of times leaders have great ideas, right, and huge visions. And they may also be blessed with an incredible team, but something gets missed between the vision and in the leader's mind and the actual team's execution, right? Yeah. So this can be a huge frustration for leaders. I know when I was pastoring a church, sometimes that would happen, inadvertently, it's bound to happen in one way or another. But so how do you deal with that? How do you share your vision with your team?
Well, that happens all the time, man. Happens all the time. I want to give you the quick answer, and then I'll give you the long answer. The quick answer is that you have to remind people over and over and over, like a broken record, what's the vision? What's the vision? Because people will forget.
And vision leaks.
Yeah, people will
Bill Hybels, I remember he said vision, that was transformative at the time. It is so true.
So good. Yeah, people will forget all the time.
Yes.
So you got to be clear and consistently communicating that. The second thing is you have to be simple, clear and simple. So vision will leak if you're giving them so much to see, just give them bits and pieces of it. So that way that they know, okay, this is the vision. For example, the vision for the leadership is core. So whenever I see something that's outside of the pillars of core or the core values, I will communicate to them, hey, remember, we are core leaders. We have character. We obey. We have great relationship. We're relational. We keep our emotions in check. Consistently communicating that, because people will forget about it.
Right. That's so true.
And it's not a knock on you.
Right. Absolutely.
Sometimes we forget about it.
Yeah.
So we want to remind ourselves and the team, hey, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, what is one of the biggest challenges that you have faced in getting your vision across to your team within the last 3 to 6 months?
Buy-in. So the buy is what you're asking, right? Okay. Well, in my case, I when I transitioned from Jersey to Illinois as a pastor, the church went through a transition. The transition was really difficult. They lost a pastor. A pastor was let go. There was mistrust there. It was just difficult. So for me to come in, someone from New Jersey that they didn't know about, the church happened to just suffer, is hurting, so they didn't trust me. So the first year and a half, I would say year and a half, almost 2 years, all I did was just remain close and earn their trust. People, and I've heard this before, I don't know who said it, but people buy in to the person before they buy into the vision. Yeah,
that's John Maxwell.
John Maxwell, the man, the king of leadership.
Yeah.
People they bought into me.
Yes.
I remember 5 months into the ministry after I transitioned from Jersey to Illinois, one of the leaders that I was leading said, wow, it's 5 months and you're still here. I said, yeah, and I plan on staying here until the Lord takes me. Wow. So just being consistent,
That's
being
good.
there, communicating, showing your heart to them and saying, hey, listen, my decisions are for the overall picture, and my decision is to make sure that we continue to love on people and continue to grow, and we want everybody to grow. Eventually, there were people that bought into me, and eventually there were people that did not buy into me.
Mm.
And that's okay. I'm okay
Right.
with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay. If they don't buy in, that's fine. Once you know who bought in, then you continue to sow into those leaders to move forward.
That's good. You know, that really goes along the lines and what we were talking about earlier, how, you know, you truly got to care for people.
Yeah.
You know, and when you truly care for people, people will know that you truly care for them, and you're in it for them to help them. You know, you're there to practice your gift of leadership, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and to love on them and to care for them and to take them from here, like you said, to there. You know, whatever their there is and whatever their there that God has for them as a pastor. You know, so that is awesome. So now, what would you say to the leader who's listening right now, who has a dream in his heart but doesn't know where to start, right? What practical advice would you give him or her?
Well, I would first say to them, take some time to figure out who they are.
Mm.
You know, I know what I do well.
Mm.
And that's my gifting, is to encourage, is to love on people. So I'm going to base my leadership style on that particular, set of qualities that God has given me. So I would encourage the leader that wanting to get his vision, make sure that you know who you are first, write that down, and then ask the Lord, where am I going?
Mm.
Where am I going? And put realistic goals.
Right.
Make sure that you're realistic and not just, just shooting for the stars. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with faith, but, having supernatural faith. But you may let yourself down if you don't align your expectation to God's will.
Right. Absolutely.
So make sure you write it down. This is my goal. And then leave room for the spectacular.
Yes. Love that.
Leave room for the miracles and the signs and the wonders that God will do through your leadership. But I believe that's it. Know who you are. Take time to know who you are. Build your leadership based on your special qualities, because when all else fails, you still will be the individual that you are.
That's good.
So you will get tired trying to be somebody else.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. So if you're a communicator, then build your leadership on communication, because that's innately, it's natural. It's something that comes out of you. Build that direction. If you're an encourager like me, then I'm going to build an encouraging ministry. I have some friends that are really tremendous at leading, like Pastor Choco, who's my mentor, but I can never be him.
Right.
And I will go tired trying to be him.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm sure he would do the same.
Trying to be you.
Me.
Right. Absolutely.
Feel who you are. And then take time to communicate. Can I share a story?
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah. No, absolutely. Go ahead. Yep.
So a vision for the church was birthed out of rejection. Check this out. I went to City Hall because I wanted to establish a dream center in the city of Elgin. At that moment, they rejected me, not because they were bad individuals, but because it wasn't the right. They communicated about zones and gave me so many excuses. So I go back home and I'm dwelling on that rejection, dwelling on what just happened. And out of nowhere, the Holy Spirit just breathed in my mind and my heart and said, this is the vision for the church. This is the vision. I'm like, what is it? They rejected me because of zoning, right? So I'm thinking, taking my time, developing something after I hear from the Lord. And the Lord said to me, your vision will be called In the Zone.
Wow.
Now, before I communicated it to someone, I took time to develop the conversation. What am I going to say? How am I going to say it? How am I going to present it? So the rejection that I got was that I could not go into different zones because of the way the city was set. Completely understand. This is a business zone. This is a school zone. This is an educational zone. This is the religious zone. Got it. The city is brought up in zones.
Right.
But now the Lord's giving me the idea, but I need to be in all those zones. So then I'm going to make my own zones and call it I'm in the zone.
Wow.
So now we divided the city of Elgin into 4 zones. Like the city got their own zones, God bless them, and I got my own spiritual zones that I'm covering, praying over it, and developing the vision of outreach for it. But it took a while for me to put it on paper, make it clear, and then give it to somebody. So right now, you'll go to my church, and they'll know, hey, we're in the zone. We're in zone 1 or zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. They know what we're doing because I took time to develop the way I'm going to communicate it. So many times we are often quick to communicate a vision that we haven't thoroughly thought about.
That's so true.
So take time to think about what you're going to be saying. Take time to make it wordy enough for them to grab, or make it the right words for them to grab it and run with it. So, take that time and then continue to be yourself as a leader.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. That's good advice. Now, one more question. What is one of your biggest ideas or dreams that you want to accomplish this year?
Oof, that's good. Well, I want to establish the Dream Center here in the city of Elgin.
You already have partly, right? You want to tell us about that a little bit?
Already operating.
Yeah.
So last year we got rejected. Remember when I said that? I got rejected. This year, the same date, a year later, February 5th, now the city's reaching out to me. Hey, would you consider opening up a Dream Center in Elgin? So my plan, this is my idea. I want to sit down and I want to establish a Dream Center. What is a Dream Center? I'm still working those details out, and that's why I have not presented it fully to everyone. But the idea is make it a ministry where it's one-stop shop. We'll have homeless ministries. We'll have educational ministries. We'll have medical ministries. We'll have psychological ministry, all coming down in one roof and connecting with different organizations to help anyone that's under or that basically doesn't have as much money, marginalized, or those that have low resources will come to the Dream Center, and we could encourage them to have housing, or we can encourage them to go to the clinic and just be made well. So that's my heart for Elgin.
Wow, that's awesome. So Abby, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, which is the easiest, Abiezel Raices. There aren't too many Abiezel Raices in this world. So if you find me, it's definitely, if you find that name, it's definitely me. You can connect with me, or you can reach out to me at my email. Would love to connect with anybody that will ask questions at abby@mynewlife.org.
Awesome.
ABI, just to make sure.
Well, Abby, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. And I know that you're going to help a young leader make their dreams into a reality.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Lord's going to do with them as well.
Thank you, man.